It's 5 a.m. on the 14th of July 2025. Over Cheboksary, a quiet dawn fractures as radar scopes bloom with contacts 10, 50, 100, more. Alarms hammer the concrete halls of the weapons plant. Guards sprint. Fire crews grab gear. From the north, east, and south, low dots skim the tree lines and rivers, slipping between radio towers and warehouses. Control vans shout coordinates. On nearby airfields, -35 seconds fighters spool hot. Farther out, S-400 batteries rotate to bearing. Panzer crews slap fresh belts in. The sky answers with white lances and orange blossoms. But the tracks multiply again, new groups popping like static, weaving, splitting, diving. Some hug the riverbank, some ride the rooftops, some vanish into ground clutter and reappear closer. In the command post, a single thought cuts through the noise. This isn't a raid, it's a swarm, and it's already inside the city's defenses. Sirens roll across the Volga bed. Fuel trucks jerk to a stop. A lookout hears a dry, angry buzz building under the wind, then many, many more. The Kursk forest is not just empty land, it's a shield for Russia's lifeline, feeding the war through supply roads from Voluki. Now, that line hosts more than Russian units. North Korea has quietly deployed 15,000 troops to support Moscow, including rare artillery pieces like the 170mm Koksan M1978. These guns, relics but still lethal, can hurl shells over 40 kilometers. Positioned near Kursk, they threaten Ukrainian rear areas, warehouses, and transport hubs. If left unchecked, every convoy behind the front becomes a target. For Ukraine, the objective is urgent. Stop these weapons before they anchor the battlefield. A handful of trucks and crews may look small compared to tanks and brigades, but their effect is strategic. If even one Koksan fires steadily, Ukrainian units in Sumy and Kharkiv could face constant pressure. That's why precision strikes matter. A drone like the Leleka 100 can silently find a needle in the dark, and a HIMARS can turn that find into destruction within a minute. The imbalance is stark. 3 rockets under $500,000 can erase artillery worth $10 million, along with trained crews that take years to replace. This is not just tactics, it's signaling. Each strike says that even foreign reinforcements are vulnerable inside Russia. For Moscow, every destroyed gun is another pause, another delay in pushing forward. For Kyiv, it's proof that Western weapons and local innovation can cut through distance, camouflage, and numbers. So here's a question for you. In this shadow war where Ukraine's rockets clash with North Korea's big guns, whose move matters more, precision or raw firepower? Comment 1 if you side with Ukraine's precision, or 9 if you think massed artillery still rules. And if you want to follow more frontline breakdowns like this, make sure you subscribe and stay tuned. 5:17 a.m. The first wave of drones crests the tree line outside Cheboksary. Operators count dozens, then lose count as radar clutters. Russia's S-400 launches. Interceptors. White trails arching up. Seconds later, soon -35 seconds fighters fire missiles, slicing through the swarm. Explosions ripple. A few drones vanish in fireballs, but for every one hit, 3 more dive lower, weaving past defenses. Panzer S-1 batteries open up, cannons spitting shells into the haze. The noise is deafening, metal ripping air at 4,000 revolutions per minute. Operators work in pairs, one tracking, one firing, sweating under pressure. For a moment, it works. Lines of drones disintegrate in flashes, wings tumbling into the river. But new clusters break from the east, zigzagging just above rooftops. Russian crews realize the problem. They're being baited. Ukraine's swarm isn't random, it's layered. The first waves draw fire, forcing S-400 seconds and fighters to waste ammo. The next waves exploit gaps. From the south, 40 drones hug the water, hidden in radar clutter. From the north, 20 more follow train tracks, using civilian structures as cover. Iskander-M ballistic missiles scream upward, targeting what Moscow believes are Ukrainian launch sites. But Ukraine has prepared. The zones are mobile, camouflaged, spread apart. For every Iskander strike that hits empty ground, another group of drones is already in the air. In the city, panic grows. Workers at the plant are rushed underground. Fire engines roar toward likely impact zones. Overhead, Russian jets chase flickering contacts, launching flares in desperate arcs. Pilots report fuel running low, targets multiplying, command lines jammed with overlapping orders. 5:21 a.m. Decoys flood the network, corner reflectors and quadcopters tossing strips of foil. Radar tracks smear. Crews pivot to thermal scopes and handheld optics, passing bearings by voice as data links falter. Smoke rises over the riverfront. Police boats weave under bridges, sirens drowned by the angry buzz above. The engagement has only begun, but the tempo is brutal. Each second adds another choice, another risk, another cost. Russia is throwing everything at the sky. Ukraine is betting it all on saturation. Neither side can pull back. The outcome will be decided in fire and steel. 5:29 a.m. The second wave pushes in. Russia's interceptors are already thin, and Pantsir crews reload under fire. Several drones slip past, their buzzing echoing over the river. Some are shot down. Others weave through gaps, closing on the city. S-400 operators adjust tactics, switching to shorter bursts, saving missiles for the densest clusters. Su-35 pilots dive low, guns blazing, but each pass eats fuel. Command orders them to conserve ammo, yet the sky keeps filling. For every drone destroyed, more appear at the edge of radar. Ground batteries shift firing arcs, trying to overlap coverage. Crews curse as smoke and debris block optics. A few drones crash early, jammed or malfunctioning, but enough keep coming to press the line. Fireballs dot the outskirts, yet flashes inside the city show that some have broken through. The defenders change formation. Units turn slightly, narrowing their defense corridor, forcing attackers into choke points. The city itself becomes part of the fight. Rooftops, smokestacks, and towers act as cover or obstacles, shaping the angles of attack. Every block feels like a trap, either for the drones or the people below. Russian commanders know the stakes. If this line collapses, the missile factory is wide open. If it holds, Ukraine burns through its drone fleet for little gain. Orders flow fast. Shift batteries west. Pull in fresh ammo trucks. Get backup power online. But the pressure mounts with every passing minute. On the Ukrainian side, operators watch feeds with cold focus. They see losses piling up, but they see openings, two holes in the defense net widening under strain. Each swarm is designed to stretch Russia thinner, to force split-second mistakes. The gamble is paying off, but only if enough drones survive the gauntlet. For now, it's brute force versus brute defense. Russia throws steel into the air. Ukraine throws machines at the wall. The line holds barely. Sparks light the horizon, black smoke twists above the Volga, and both sides brace for the next escalation. And here's where I'll ask you, if you think Russia's defense will snap under pressure, comment 1. If you believe Ukraine's drones will be crushed before reaching the target, hit 9, and don't forget to subscribe to see what happens next. 5:41 a.m. As Russian batteries find a rhythm, new contacts appear smaller, faster, hugging the streets. At first, they look like debris. Then dozens multiply, skimming rooftops and power lines. Spotters confirm a second swarm is here. These aren't heavy UJ-26 seconds. They're lightweight strike drones, tuned for speed and low turns. Radar drops them as ground noise. Tracking fails whenever they duck behind warehouses and billboards. By the time crews adjust, the dots are across the river and inside the city. Pantsir crews depress guns, tearing facades instead of targets. -400 seconds hold fire. Geometry is too close. Su-35 pilots dive into dangerous airspace. Cannons raking alleys, stacks, and wires. The air war collapses into a knife fight. Command pivots to point defense. Floodlights sweep. Security platoons form belts, firing upward with rifles and MGs. Ammo trucks back into courtyards to reload. Streets turn into funnels, echoes, and dust-blind optics. The danger is placement, not mass. One cluster drives for the plant's outer wall. Another angles toward fuel tanks. A third dives for the substation, feeding assembly lines, and fire pumps. If any go, the factory will burn. The city could black out. Ukraine's design is clear. saturate big shields, then slip knives through seams. The reserve swarm forces Russia to split focus, shift guns, and waste seconds. Each delay opens lanes. Each lane threatens storage, turbines, transformers. Sirens blend into a steady howl. Fires bloom by the river. Radios choke. Crews switch to hand signals. Inside the plant, generators kick, blast doors close, and workers brace for blows they can hear but not see. The twist drags the battle to street level. Its outcome rests on who adapts faster in minutes. 5:55 a.m. The last wave closes in. Sirens fade into the hum of a city under siege as Russian defenses stretch to the edge, throw everything skyward. Panzer batteries chatter until barrels glow. Soon, -35 seconds scissor low over the river, dumping flares like falling embers. Yet too many tracks remain. The plant looms in the center concrete. Pipes, tanks, each a target. At the perimeter, strike drones break cover in 2s and 3s. One angles for the fuel farm, another for the assembly hall, a third for the power yard where transformers buzz. Floodlights rake the haze. Gunners fire tracers that stitch the dawn. CIWS spins up, a circular saw of sound. Sparks and fragments lace the air, each second bought at enormous cost. A drone slams into a warehouse fireball, windows gone. Another is chewed midair, raining carbon and flame. But the rest keep weaving, ducking behind smokestacks and cranes, breaking sightlines. Inside bunkers, dust sifts from ceilings. The plant's blast doors grind shut while crews ready foam lines and brace for shockwaves. Out of long-range shots, S-400 crews convert to short arcs. Missiles leap almost overhead, detonations ripping holes in the sky. Some kills are clean. Others scatter shrapnel across courtyards. Civilians huddle in basements, counting gaps between blasts. Power flickers, radios choke, and controllers switch to clipped voice or hand signals. The duel collapses to street distance. Rooftop teams fire rifles at silhouettes, the size of suitcases. A jet rakes alleys, then pulls hard, wings flashing through haze. Ukraine pushes its last wave, aiming to gut power and fuel. Russia answers with grit, shifting guns by meters to keep seams from opening. The plant stands scorched and ringed by flame. Final drones dive through smoke, swimming in tracers. Gunners fire until belts run dry. One last shape cuts the glare, arrowing for the heart of the complex. A burst meets at mid-path. Then a white flash blinds the horizon. For a moment, no one knows if the line broke or held. If you think Ukraine's push breaks the shield, press 1. If you believe Russia holds at the last instant, press 9 and subscribe to see the aftermath. 6:10 a.m. Smoke drifts over Cheboksary. The battle has ended, but scars are raw. Over 100 drones punched through defenses, striking fuel tanks, warehouses, and the missile plant. Fire crews fight blazes spreading toward chemical stores. Power is out in several districts, and the factory floor lies in ruins. For Ukraine, the raid cost months of prep and hundreds of drones. The payoff is massive. Russia's Kh-101 and Kh-555 cruise missile production is crippled. Conveyor lines are twisted, electronics scorched, and workers evacuated. The strike proves swarm tactics, even costly, can land decisive blows. For Russia, the shock runs deep. S-400 seconds, Pantsers and Su, -35 seconds fought furiously, but were swamped by numbers, deception, and persistence. Interceptors are depleted, gun crews drained, and commanders forced to admit layered defenses can crack. Emergency orders shift batteries inland, new patrols drawn on maps before dawn. Strategically, the clash marks a turning point. Cheap drones forced expensive systems into overdrive. Each missile fired at a $200,000 UAV drained Russia's treasury, while Ukraine spent a fraction to disable billions in assets. Modern war now shows that coordination and numbers can trump hardware. The impact spreads beyond the battlefield. Allies study footage. Defense analysts revise doctrine. Civilians see both the promise and the peril of drone warfare. Insurance spikes, rail schedules slip, barge traffic slows, while wreckage is cleared. Factories across the region idle for safety checks. Hospitals switched to generators as crews stabilized the grid and restore water pressure. The line between safety and chaos grows thin. Investigators sift wreckage and telemetry, mapping spoofed signals and jam-resistant links. Each fragment proves software, not steel. Set tonight's tempo. Both sides will learn, both will adapt. And now the question shifts to you. Was this Ukraine's boldest victory or Russia's costly warning? If you think the strike shifts momentum, press 1. If you believe Moscow adapts and strikes back harder, press 9 and subscribe to follow where this fight goes next.